The first of the semi-finals is the meeting of Galway and Roscommon, and indeed our coverage tonight and on Sunday is brought to you of this game by the club Rossi GAA Win a Home in London competition. Remember, that draw takes place on the 30th of December. Somebody will win a luxury two-bed apartment on the London City Island worth £695,000 sterling. That could be you. If you want to find out more details about that, well, you can log on to winahomeInLondon.com and all the details are there. Well, it is the semi-finals of the Connacht Minor Football Championship, and what an occasion we should have here. A Roscommon team that have been preparing a year for this particular encounter take on a Galway team that already have had one outing. Remember, they beat Leitrim in the quarter-finals last weekend. Before we analyse the games, let's take a check on the two teams that are going to be lining out for this particular encounter this evening. And of course, Galway, as we mentioned, one game under their belt already, and a switch being made on that particular team from last week. Mike McGarrett comes in to the Galway team at centre half forward. Remember, they had a number of star performances last week. Dara Burke and Conal Gallagher looked very strong in the middle of the field, or Corrine in the full forward line was a real handful, and indeed so too was David Prendergast. Just some of the players that Roscommon will have to keep an eye on this evening. For Roscommon tonight, they start off with Oisin Craig and Jamesy Green in the middle of the field. Alan McManus from Clonagale has been named at centre half back, while up front Ryan Conlon starts at number 11 and Owen Colleran wears the number 14 jersey from the Porrick Pierces club. Well, let's look ahead to the game now in the company of our match analysts for this particular encounter. We're delighted to welcome back Kevin O'Dwyer once again from Galway Bay, and also joining us tonight is the well-known Roscommon senior inter-county footballer and somebody synonymous here with Connacht GAA as well, Cathal Craig. Kevin, if I can start off with yourself and maybe just taking a check on the Galway team. Obviously the injuries and the wear and tear from last week slightly represented here in the starting lineup, and a big night for the Galway number 11, McGarrett, that's getting his starting role this evening.
Yeah, Mike is coming in. Jack Dowd is injured. He picked up an injury early in the game last week and was replaced. Mike McGarrett came in, if you remember, the last day against Leitrim, and he actually scored a point. He was one of the three subs that came on that scored points for Galway, showing the sort of strength and depth that there was in the Galway panel. And he's a very strong player, a big player, and he'll fit in nicely there at number 11 for Galway. So it shouldn't be any upheaval from that point of view.
Cathal, Roscommon, and indeed yourself as well, would have had an opportunity last week to take a look at the game between Leitrim and Galway, and there's no doubt about it, Galway, the point was made to be here a little bit earlier on, though maybe like a car that had some dirty petrol, they might have spluttered a little bit early on, but they got that out of the system. How big of a factor is it that Galway will have played a game coming into tonight's semi-final?
Yeah, I suppose Roscommon will be very much an unknown quantity coming into today's game, not having played. They're preparing on and off for the last year. I got to watch that game last week, and in fairness, Leitrim were very good. Galway just, I suppose, in the last quarter just kicked on. They got 1-6 to a point. It'll be a huge factor, I think, here today, especially starting off that they have that game under their belt. But I suppose Roscommon will have seen what Galway have to offer and be able to put a plan in place for that.
Roscommon have one or two injury worries, it must be said, coming into the game as well, and that's probably reflected on the selection that Emmett Durney has put out. But there's a good spread of clubs in this particular Roscommon team. They've been working and indeed looking forward to this game, you could say now, for 12 months. So it's been a long wait, and these guys would be happy to get out and get championship action this evening.
Yeah, sure. And everyone, it's great for these lads to be able to fulfil the fixture at their minor grade. I suppose some of the players we'll be looking at, three of the minors from last year: Walsh, number 4, Oisin Craig, and Owen Colleran. And then Shane Walsh there at 10 is a nice player, and Alan McManus at 6. And Colm Neary, even though he's a year young, he's a very good up-and-coming player.
I suppose when we look back maybe 6 days and we talk about Galway's performance the last day, they were very strong right throughout the centre of the team. Two excellent midfielders in Dara Burke and Conal Gallagher the last time. And indeed, if you look at that full forward line, David Prendergast was hugely impressive, as indeed was Killian O'Connor, the full forward. Again, a player that will take watching. So how Galway utilise those guys again this evening, Kevin, that's going to be key. Roscommon are going to have to try and nullify them, but obviously from Galway is to get the most out of those players.
Yeah, you saw early in the game as Carl was saying that the big thing was that Galway did stutter, but when they got their flow going, they played the ball quick and early into that full forward line, and in particular Prendergast was deadly inside. He made a lot of scores. He hadn't a very fortunate night himself, but he made a lot of scores, and Cillian O'Quirrine kicked 4 points from frees, but he also scored 2 crucial goals which were essential for Galway to glean that victory against Leitrim. So it is a very potent full forward line. Daniel O'Flaherty didn't show a lot, and he played last year for the Galway Miners. Didn't show a lot the last day. You might expect a bigger game from him tonight, but Conall Gallagher was outstanding at the middle of the field. Kicked 6 huge points during the course of the game. In fact, he missed one, as you remember, John, very close in. It was the easiest chance he had all night, and it was a surprise to everybody. So he'd be a huge influence on the game. There can be no doubt about it. And the other factor was that I think it was crucial, really, that Galway began to kick on after they had lost Adam Tierney to a second yellow card where he went off with a red, and they were down to 14 men. And really, when they might have been in trouble, that's when they really upped their game and upped their performance and began to kick on.
It's a very interesting point that Kevin has made, because Galway did kick on when that numerical disadvantage kicked in. Now, you could couple that as well, Cathal, by saying that the players that they brought off the bench had a huge impact, and maybe the Galway bench was that little bit stronger than Leitrim. So that's going to be interesting again to see how those players from Galway, when they come in this evening, and how Roscommon can counteract that.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be interesting to see what way Roscommon set up, because obviously they have to look at the O'Quirrine and Prendergast and the inside forward line, so have to bring back a lot of players. But Galway also have it in their armour that some of the points that Gallagher kicked from long range last week was phenomenal. Like 6 points from midfield is some return. So Roscommon are going to have to break at least 50-50 there in the middle of the field. That's a very strong partnership with Gallagher and Burke there.
One thing about Galway last week as well, which was hugely evident, Kevin, was the smooth transition from defence to attack. Again, when they got going, maybe, and as expected, maybe the first 15 minutes there was a settling down process, but the way as the match wore on, that they were able to move from defence to attack, move the ball through the channels, and the support play was another very interesting aspect of Galway's game plan the last day out.
Yeah, it certainly was. And if you remember the first goal, it came after Galway had scored a point. Then there was a kick out, and Nemo Keneally won a mark in the middle of the field and played the ball quickly inside to O'Quirrine. Up to that, Galway had been firing shots head high at the goalie. This one was a daisy cutter along the ground into the back of the net. And the second goal came from another kick out from the Galway point of view. It was played out to the half back line and quickly played inside just beyond the sweeper's reach, and it was picked up inside by David Prendergast, and he cut inside, beat 2 men, found Cillian O'Quirrine free in the middle, and he had no problem putting it in the back of the net. And it's that quick transition of the ball really that was a key factor for Galway.
No doubt about it. It was absolutely key at the moment. The two teams just lining up, as you can see from our pictures, and getting ready for the start of the national anthem here at the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence. The waiting almost over here in the Centre of Excellence for Roscommon. At long last, they're about to make their introduction into the 2020 Connacht Minor Football Championship, and of course the second game out for Galway as well. A little bit about the conditions. We may be into the December, but Cathal, they're absolutely perfect here. Slight breeze, I noticed, just picking up a little bit here, blowing from left to right as we look out from the commentary position in the opening half, but nothing significant.
No, there's very little in that. You're right though, it has picked up in the last half an hour. Pitches are in great condition and we've had no rain been for the last couple hours.
Absolutely, the conditions absolutely perfect here, it must be said, in the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence. A big night as well for Mick McGurl. He's our match referee. He comes from the parish of Drumreilly, his home club in Leitrim, and indeed he's the man that refereed the 2020 Leitrim County Senior Football Final as well, on an occasion when Mohill got the better of St Mary's Kiltahert in that decider. So a big year for Mick McGurl, and now it continues as he takes charge of this Connacht Minor Football Championship encounter. Roscommon breaking away from their photographs, Galway in the middle of the field, getting ready for the start of this particular game. And you know something we've seen at the last day out, Kevin, a very good understanding in the middle of the field between Dara Burke and Conal Gallagher as well.
Yeah, Conal Gallagher is the man that does all the high fielding. Burke does all the hard work crafting around. Just interesting, it was Owen Colleran that won the toss, and he elected to play with that breeze for Roscommon in the first half. And these ideal conditions, but as Cahill said, that breeze beginning to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, just beginning to increase ever so slightly in strength, and that indeed could be a factor for the game as well. So Mick McGurl getting ready to throw in the ball. This game live, of course, on the Connacht GAA website if you're watching at home, or indeed listening on Galway Bay FM. We welcome you to our coverage this evening as Mick McGurl throws in the ball, and immediately it's batted down, and the two teams here will be anxious to make a fairly reliable start to the game. Adam Tierney from Oughterard in possession early on there from Galway as they walk the ball here outside their own 45-metre line. Walked up towards Morgan Murran, the man from Clare Galway, wearing number 4, back into Conal Gallagher. Gets the delivery down towards the opposition 45-metre line and kicked in there now by Burke. Long one in over the top, trying to bring a forward line into the game. They were certainly prolific at various stages of the match, and it's the full forward here, or Corrine, looking to recycle possession back out, succeeds in doing so. Now coming into the mix there is Liam O'Connell. Now the ball played back out to the midfielder Dara Burke once again. Burke to the centre half forward, the new man in, McGarrett, opening opportunity for him, struck that ball well, and he's found the target and he's found the score. And if he was ever anyways nervous about starting off, Kevin, those nerves are evaporating there with a score like that.
First touch of the ball and a beautiful curl on it from out on the left hand side, swinging it back in over the bar. And great point.
A great point indeed, and it's Galway who lead by a point to no score here, and maybe the benefit of having played last week could be a factor, as we mentioned. The ball kicked out over on the far side of the field. Galway winning a lot of possession early on here. That fact that they did play last week could be a telling factor for them. Ball walked out there over on the far side. Coming into the mix once again, Darren O'Malley trying to bring the ball forward as number 5. Matthew Mulvaney now gets it to Darren O'Malley. O'Malley, the centre half back, up on the attack, but shoots out to the right and shoots wide. And I suppose really when we're worrying from a Roscommon perspective, Cahill, is that Galway are dominating the game possession-wise in the middle of the field so far.
Yeah, and that Galway half back line is attacking there again. O'Malley and Tierney both got points last week, so that they're continuing that. The
Castlereagh St Kevin's goalkeeper David Farrell has kicked it out, but again possession has been won there in the middle of the field by Dara Burke. He went right up into the nighttime sky to win that one, and once more it's going to be Galway on the attack here, looking for McGarrett over on the far side of the field, making that overlapping run. Possibilities here now for Galway as they try to recycle the ball out to a more advantageous position. Corrine, the full forward, under some pressure there, concedes the foul, and it's a free out for Roscommon. And really it's been a rearguard action so far for the lads in Primrose and Blue, but they're sticking manfully to the task, just trailing here by a point to no score in case you've just joined us. Possession for the Roscommon full back Caleb Keogh from the Porrick Pierce's club, right on the Roscommon border, winning the ball over on the far side of the field, winning a free out, and it's going to be an opportunity for Roscommon to, well, relieve some of the pressure that the defence has been under, Cahill. And I suppose really if they can work something in the middle of the field, try and get the forward line into the game and just take a little bit of pressure off the back line.
Yeah, they just need to hold on to possession here for the next 30 or 60 seconds. They haven't really had the ball at all since the start of the game.
Emmett Durney's team certainly maybe a little bit under the cosh here early on. Galway enjoying the better of starts, but Roscommon have possession now on this particular occasion. Owen Ward involved in a 1-2, takes it again, and a foul being conceded by Galway there to the Roscommon midfielder. Oisin Craig from Boyle has gone down injured, picking up that little bit of a knock as just as he was playing the ball away there towards Owen Ward, but Craig was fouled, and it's going to be a free in for Roscommon, and I suppose an opportunity here for them to well get their first attack going as Mick McGurl, the match referee, looks around, and he could be having a word there. One of the Galway players indeed he is, and it's going to be some early action maybe perhaps to be taken here by the match official. Kevin, give me your views on that.
Well, it was a play that
yellow card.
Yellow card just as he was about to play the ball. The tackle came in
for Dara Burke,
and it was a yellow card.
So Dara Burke from Monavea Abbey is the man who picks up that yellow card there. So that's his card marked for, I suppose, early in the game as well. And we've seen the way cards can be given out at this particular time of the year with conditions difficult, that it's always, I suppose, well, far from ideal to pick up a card so early in a game like this, Cahill.
Yeah, it's very early to be. We're only a couple of minutes in now to get one, but that break probably suits Roscommon. Nice ball into Gately.
Gately indeed has it, and he does well to recycle the ball back out there. Comes inside towards Connor Hand. Opportunity here with them of their first real attack, and Hand kicks it in and finds the target and finds the range, and that's more like it from a Roscommon perspective. First opportunity they got, Cahill, and they took it.
Yeah, great score there. It was a great ball into Gately, and he put it across the Hand. Nice touch over the bar.
Yeah, indeed. Connor Hand, the St. Bridget's player, getting Roscommon's opening score. Referee not happy with the kick out from the Galway goalkeeper, James Egan, and he's immediately gone up to point that he's going to hop the ball in there. So I suppose Roscommon, their forward line starved of possession early on there, Kevin, but they've given an indication there of what they can do if they get opportunities.
Yeah, well, the referees accepted no nonsense whatsoever. You know, the kick out should have been taken, wasn't, and Galway penalised.
Yeah, Galway penalised, ball thrown in, and again the whistle sounds of the referee, and it's going to be a free out from Galway on this particular occasion. The stopwatch telling us here that we played 4 minutes and 45 seconds in the opening half. In case you've just joined us on Galway Bay FM, or indeed onto our streaming coverage here from the Connacht GAA website, the teams are level at a point apiece. Possession with Galway. Conal Gallagher from the St. Michael's Club, way back in his own half of the field to James Egan. Goalkeeper plays it now over towards this near side to Adam Tierney. Tierney putting the ball through the hands, linking up inside with Liam O'Connell once again. Now it comes back to Jack Ramsey from Clare Galway to the full back. It goes there. Aino Donoghue from Killererin. He was coming out. He was fouled on his way out, and it's going to be a free out for Galway. Teams level, 1 point apiece here. Early exchanges. Conditions perfect here in the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence. Roscommon do well to win possession back, and immediately it goes down to the full forward line there. Owen Colleran has it. Plays the ball inside of it. A shot inside to the back of the net. Brilliantly finished off there by the number 13 who got the goal, Aaron Shannon, right through the man from Roscommon Gales. Brilliant finish. Found the target really well.
Yes, Galway just caught out the high press. The kick out didn't work early on. Then when the kick out was taken and Galway were caught out after winning a free, a high press, and Roscommon overturned the ball for a great goal.
That came from great pressure from the forwards there. The full forward line put the press out, didn't let them out for the guts of 30 seconds.
Yeah, they've really troubled Galway there with those tactics, and they've got the goal, which is absolutely crucial. Adam Tierney now kicking that one forward from a Galway perspective, but again the whistle sounds from the referee, and again it's going to be a free in here for Galway. But that goal has been a perfect catalyst here for Roscommon in the game. A little bit slow to settle, as you might expect, their first day out, but Aaron Shannon getting an absolutely wonderful goal for them, and that has certainly put them in the box seat here at the moment. Roscommon leading by a goal and a point to a single point for Galway, but there's a great chance for Killian or Kareen now to maybe reduce the deficit a little bit. The full forward preparing to take this free, kicking down to the goal to our left, and the half moon round the back of the goals as well. What an idyllic and perfect picture setting we have here in the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence. Ball kicked in and kicked over the bar, and the Galway full forward has got his opening score of the game. It's now Galway 2 points, Roscommon a goal and a point. And important, Kevin, from a Galway perspective, that they responded with the next score, and they've done exactly that.
All he had to do there was put that ball through the hook of the moon. There's no doubt about it. It was going to be a score all the way.
Certainly was. He used the moon as a marker. Ball over on the far side of the field. 2 points for Galway, a goal and a point for Roscommon. Hand, who got the point for Roscommon, attacking again along the flank as Roscommon move along the left side of the field this time. Obviously their confidence flying after the goal, but the ball has got out over the sideline, far side of the field. Sideline ball for Galway. Interesting start, Cahill.
Yeah, like Roscommon for the first 3 or 4 minutes they were under huge pressure, and there's been a big momentum shift obviously, and that goal came at the end of it, which has been huge for Roscommon.
Here's James Egan. He plays out the field for his club in the Galway Championship, and he's getting an opportunity to do a little bit of that now again, but he gets it to Conal Gallagher. Gallagher switches the ball over towards the far side of the field. Galway moving now once again. Moran trying to get some space, trying to get something moving for Galway as they get the ball through the hands, and now it's kicked long and direct down to the centre half forward. McGarrett, a point to his credit early on, opening score of the match, running at the Roscommon defence, trying to weave his way through. Still McGarrett moving inside. Roscommon having 3 men around him at this stage. Ball squirms free, going down to try and gather as Luke Walsh of the Porrick Pearsons Club. Whistle sounds from the referee, Mick McGurl, who's right up there at the play, and it looks as if this could be, is it going to be a 45? I think that seems to be the signal from the Leitrim match official, and that's indeed what it is, and the linesman is out to signal that it's going to be a 45, and another opportunity here of a score for Galway. Obviously they were rocked a little bit, confidence shaken a little bit after conceding the goal, but now there's going to be a 45. Galway thought about going back. Roscommon cut off that particular avenue, and it's going to be a free now. That's going to be eventually kicked in by Daniel O'Flaherty from the Salt Hill Knockna Cara Club, preparing to strike this one in. Roscommon at the moment have won 13 Connacht minor football titles in their history. They'll be hoping to increase that particular number. Galway, along with Mayo, the kingpins of the competition. Free comes in, driven in left-footed. Ball dropping short. Galway tried to keep it alive, but it breaks back there. Roscommon have it. Out to Luke Walsh it comes. Walsh turns, checks his run, uses Callum Keogh, the fullback from Pádraig Pearses, as they move the ball carefully and confidently through the hands. Out of the fence now, Roscommon. Growing in confidence, you sense as this game is going on. Still they have the ball deep behind their own 45-metre line. Played over towards the dome side of the field here now in the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence, where our coverage comes from this evening. In possession there for Roscommon is Colm Neary from Strokestown. Roscommon keeping it tight, making sure every pass counts as they find their way nicely into this particular encounter here. The winners will play the eventual winners of the game between Mayo and Sligo next week, next Sunday. Owen Ward in possession. Owen Ward drills it down to the forward line. Here's Owen Canellan once again. The full forward has it. He turns, he shoots. Colleran with it, going inside, out to the right of the post on this particular occasion and wide. But Cahill, talk to me a little bit about the Roscommon build-up play there. Nice bit of short passing, plenty of options in defence from the players coming out, but they're not afraid to let it in good and direct and fast to the forward line when the opportunity arises.
Yeah, they're playing a nice mix between a give and go game, but when the ball is on, they're definitely willing to kick it. And even though Colleran there had runners off his shoulder, so they're giving a lot of support play.
Scoreline at the moment, in case you've just joined us, 1 goal and a point here for Roscommon so far, and 2 points for Galway. The scoreline at the moment, and we've played just over 10 minutes. Roscommon on the attack here once again. Ball kicked down, diagonal ball racing in there. Once again, it's Colleran in the centre half forward. Roscommon coming in here for another opportunity, and the ball is stopped inside of the line. Real danger there is Darren Gately from the St. Kieran's Club, I think was the player who got the shot away, but Galway had been back to deal with it. Galway's defence a little bit, well, it's leaking a little bit at this stage. Conal Gallagher wins possession for them over at the far side. They're a good team to try and attack, and the counter-attack whistle sounds once more. Another great opportunity of a goal there for Roscommon, Kevin.
Yes, indeed, and Galway really having to work very, very hard to defend that one. Luckily enough, they had the men back to make the blocks that counted. I have to say I'm very impressed with the way Roscommon worked the ball out of defence there. Galway, it's really a tight game. It's man-to-man all the way, and Galway were working very hard to try and stop that transition of ball, but eventually Roscommon got it forward, and fortunately for Galway, they didn't put it in the back of the net.
Yellow card showing there as well, I think, Cahill.
Yeah, I couldn't see
just a little bit away from us there on the right, but the referee obviously spotting some bit of an infringement there and decides to award a yellow card. Anyways, back with the action we go once again. Roscommon almost scoring their second goal of the game. Here comes Darren O'Malley for Galway now. The centre half forward bringing the ball forward. Eventually it's kicked long in towards the full forward line. Beats everybody back there. Shane Walsh from Oran is going back to try and gather for Roscommon, but it might come here for Corrine trying to keep the ball alive, but the umpire is signalling that, well, he thought about giving a 45, but the referee overrules him and tells him that it's gone out wide, and I think that's probably the correct decision.
Yeah, I think it came off the full forward's hand.
Yeah, that's out wide. No doubt. Roscommon Cahill creating that second goal chance. I suppose the big pity from their perspective is that they didn't take it.
Yeah, it was a great save from the keeper. It was a great ball in from Mushin Craig to Conlon, and he found Gately, but it was a really good save.
Good full back play there again by Callum Keogh, the man from Pádraig Pearses, cutting that particular move out. Foul there by the Galway full forward Killian Corrine as he was trying to emerge with possession, and it's going to be a free out. Maybe not as open, maybe not as free flowing as a game as we witnessed last week, but certainly very tight and very competitive here in the early exchanges. Roscommon moving the ball quickly through the hands once again. They're on their own 45-metre line now. The man coming away with it there was the goal scorer Aaron Shannon, but the Roscommon Gaels man was fouled, and it's going to be a free which Roscommon take quickly. Shannon in the mix again, has it on his own 45-metre line, playing deep, good right-footed delivery, down it goes once again here. Always showing in the game so far has been Owen Colleran, the full forward from Pádraig Pearses, but going back there is Adam Tierney to try and win the ball back. A little bit scrappy as the ball breaks down onto the ground. Colleran going in to try and gather it. Loud blow of the whistle from Mick McGurl, signalling that there's going to be another free, and a free in for Roscommon on this particular occasion. And Owen Colleran stands, ball in hands, now drops it to the ground exactly on the 21-metre line, as you can see from the camera shot, kicking down towards the goal to our right. And Roscommon at the moment leading here by double scores, 1-1 to 2 points in the early exchanges of the game. That's the camera shot. That gives you the angle that the Roscommon full forward is about to face here. Back to goal. He's going to swing in and try and kick this one. Big moment here for the Roscommon number 14. Up he comes onto the left peg, strikes that ball in, dropping in, but dropping out over the line, and wide. Opportunity going there for a Roscommon team that indeed claimed All-Ireland titles in this grade in 39, 41, 51, and of course in 2006. The year before, one of our match analysts played minor for Roscommon on that particular occasion. I'll let you guess yourself which one it was. Anyways, back in the action once more. It's an opportunity over on the far side of the field. That's the competition for people here at home this evening. Now it's Galway in possession once more, and they have the ball back outside there with Liam O'Connell trying to recycle it. Back out it comes to the midfielder. It's a long ball played in there towards Prendergast. Roscommon have their homework done on him. He was one of the players that really shone last week, and Roscommon keeping close tabs on him here in the early exchanges. And I suppose some of the sharpshooters for Galway, Kevin, were waiting for them to ignite, to take light, like what we've seen in the game against Leitrim.
Yeah, Galway's delivery of the ball into the full forward line has been poor. Dara Burke hit that one there, came off the outside of the boot and went out over the sideline. Needed to be a ball deep into the corner.
Aaron Shannon foraging deep again, has possession, back outside his own 45-metre line. Lovely delivery again, down into the Roscommon centre half forward. Ryan Conlon looking to continue on the run. Referee spotted the tackle inside on the full forward, and there's going to be another free in. And you know something, the I suppose primary possession ability of Owen Colleran in there at full forward, that's another big outlet for Roscommon, and that's causing problems with the Galway defence. He's winning frees.
Yeah, he has won every ball that has gone into him bar the last one, and in fairness to his work rate, he had to tackle two players to get it back, and he won the free. He has a much simpler free there. It was brought in and made easier for some, I think it was for some mouth, and as he said earlier, the ref has taken no nonsense this evening.
Yeah, Michael McGurl very much on top of proceedings in the early exchanges, and the free will come here from Owen Colleran. The man who was fouled kicks the free in himself and gets the just reward for it as he taps it in and over the bar, and Roscommon increase their lead here now at this stage. 1 goal and 2 points for Roscommon, 2 points for Galway, and Kevin O'Dwyer, the concession of the frees there will be a worry for Galway.
And not only the concession of the free, but the indiscipline as well, calling out against the referee. It doesn't work, and they were punished for it. There's something they'll have to do, mind their discipline.
Yeah, it's something they're going to have to eradicate out of the game. Michael McGurl has left nobody in any doubt here that he will be taking action if there's any back chat against him here this evening. Meanwhile, possession is back with Roscommon again. Ryan Conlon, the man from the Roscommon Gaels club, who was instrumental in setting up that last score, to Jamesy Green from Ayr Rogue, just down the road a few miles from here in West Roscommon. Green plays the ball outside him to Owen Ward. Roscommon continue to hold on to possession. They're growing in confidence, you sense, as this game is progressing. Ward bringing the ball forward here, running, gets through the eye of a needle there and continues on with his run. Galway can't stop him without fouling him, and again it's going to be another free in. And Cahill, just pick up on the point that Kevin made a moment or two there ago. Roscommon, the direct running style is bothering Galway. They're conceding a lot of frees.
Yeah, and I think the big shift from the first 5 minutes, Galway brought a huge intensity for the first 5 minutes, but Roscommon have really taken over there. Their work rate around the middle, particularly Aaron Shannon is dropping deep there, and I think they're leaving 3 forwards inside. It's causing huge trouble for Galway.
There's a change taking place over there as well.
Number 8, Dara Burke.
Dara Burke has gone off, and Rory Donnellan from the Carafin team, or from the Carafin club, is the man who is coming on. I'll talk to Kevin about that in a moment, but there's a free coming in here from Owen Colleran from the Pádraig Pearse's club. About to kick this one onto the left boot. He sends it in. Makes no mistake, as straight as a die and over the bar. And another point for the Roscommon number 14, his second of the game. And Roscommon now lead at this stage by 1 goal and 3 points to 2 points, the scoreline at the moment. And Kevin, I suppose always a little bit worrying for Galway to lose a midfielder so early on in the game.
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't get a call there for the water break. We've 17 minutes.
Yeah.
We haven't had the water break there, and I'd say that's what Galway really are hoping for, is to get that water break. The substitution coming in, Rory, he made a big difference last week, scored a point when he came in, so you know he'll be a key player. Anything coming out of Corofin has to be good.
Yeah, great tackling back there again by Aaron Shannon, forces the sideline.
The work rate of Shannon, you see him down there, he's given away a huge size advantage to some of the guys that he's going up against in the tackle, but as the old saying goes, it's the size of the fight that's in the dog. Right now it's the Galway centre half back, Darren O'Malley, switches the ball over towards this near side of the field here. Galway in a right old battle here in the provincial semi-final. Coming forward here is Jack Ramsey. Ramsey plays it on to the 45-metre line. In over the top it goes. Liam O'Connell once again trying to do something with the ball there. Manages to find the sub who has come in there. The man wearing number 23, been introduced now at this stage, Rory Donlan from Corofin, on the field at the moment. In possession here is Liam O'Connell once again trying to move the ball inside here. Roscommon really blocking off the avenues that's open to Galway at the minute, and they're forced to come out wide and recycle possession. Conal Gallagher, still Gallagher, thought for a moment about kicking it, now gets it back here to his number 12 who's right up on the shoulder. Possibilities still presenting themselves here for Galway, but they've over elaborated it there. Rory Donlan whistle sounds from the match referee once again, and Shannon is the player that's gone down injured, and that really epitomises the work rate of Roscommon, not panicking, disciplined in the tackle, and really giving Galway no opportunities here. And Ryan Kavanagh is the latest player to make his way into the referee's notebook, and another yellow card for the Galway number 10. Cahill has been hugely impressive, the discipline in Roscommon so far.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of men back and keeping three up front there. As I mentioned the last time, the work rate they have is very good. Giving long ball into Gately, like he has serious pace.
He has serious pace, and now there's an opportunity, and he turns around and gets the shot in. Oh, that's kicked in there brilliantly, and kicked all the way in and over the bar. And you know, you picked up on it a little bit earlier on, Cahill, that direct ball in, but the forwards are making space, they're offering themselves as targets, and they're kicking the scores. There's the water break now, and I tell you something, Kevin O'Dwyer, that water break has come at a good time for Galway.
Well, badly needed, I'd say, from a Galway management point of view. Alan Glynn will be delighted to get the lads back in and try and get some shape back into them, because they're at 6 and 7s out there. They're very slow to deliver the ball forward, not anything like they did last week. They're not pumping ball into the full forward line like they did last week. Roscommon have a sweeper back there that's closing the space down on them and not making it easy for Galway. And I have to say, the intensity of the Roscommon lads has been fantastic. They're tackling, they're chasing, they're harrying. They've made it very, very difficult for Galway, and they haven't given Galway any room.
Yeah, I think that's probably the big difference. The last 10 minutes versus the 5 minutes I mentioned it a while ago is just literally the intensity of the players.
The work rate, I think, of Aaron Shannon is very much epitomising what Roscommon are all about in this particular game as well.
Yeah, he's coming out, he's getting on ball. He turned over a sideline here right in front of us. To see a corner forward doing that is brilliant.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic for the work rate. Galway defence a little bit, obviously troubled by the likes of Owen Colleran in particular at full forward. We spoke about it, Kevin, during the commentary so far. The amount of frees that's been conceded by Galway. That direct running ply that Roscommon have, 25-30 metres out from goal, that's troubling Galway's full back line in particular.
It certainly is, and as well as that, trying to keep your footing on the turn is very difficult. And we saw it there a minute ago with that particular score. The corner back had a difficulty trying to turn on a ball and fell to the ground. It was easily picked up by the Roscommon man and able to pop it over the bar.
Yeah, they're getting the ball to about 50 or 60 metres and letting it into Gately and Colleran inside, who are very pacey.
Our live streaming coverage this evening brought to you of the Electric Ireland Connacht Minor Football Championship, brought to you by Club Rossi and their Win a Home in London competition. That draw coming up on the 30th of December. All the details on winahomeinlondon.com. The restart taken here by James Egan, the cool Boyra, the goalkeeper for the Galway team, won by Ryan Kavanagh in around the centre of the field. Galway will want to show more urgency here in the second quarter of the game. Immediately they've won a free, it's going to be taken by Darren O'Malley. O'Malley has taken it in there. Once again, possibilities now for Galway as they come in the attack. Another free conceded by Roscommon. Galway making slow but steady progress here down towards the Roscommon goal. Matthew Mulvaney was up in the attack on that particular occasion. Free comes back in here to Liam O'Connell once again, trying to work his way through, gets the pass back outside him. The shot comes in from distance, but it was a shot from distance. It was a shot that was somewhat ambitious again, but I suppose rather than being critical of the Galway forward, I'd like to think there that the defending Roscommon are doing, they're cutting down the options that they're presenting to Galway, and that's a huge factor in keeping what's a very prolific forward line, keeping their scores down so far. Another free won by Roscommon on this particular occasion, and won again there by Owen Colleran from Pádraig Pearses. You know something, he's got all the qualities of a good full forward, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has great pace, he has great ball winning ability, and he has a lovely left peg.
And I tell you something, he's got accuracy in abundance as well there. He's kicked another one in and over the bar. Fine score indeed from him now at that stage. It increases Roscommon's lead, and very much everything going the way of Roscommon, of the team in Primrose and Blue. 1-5 to 2 points, Kevin.
Yeah, and it was I think he actually got a mark there. He claimed a mark and went down low, won the ball low, and then he put the hand up and the referee says, yeah, mark, and he pointed the mark.
Pointed the mark, took the score. His accuracy accuracy is very, very impressive as well. Granted, they're in positions you'd expect a lad at inter-county level to score from, but he's doing it without any real fuss.
Yeah, but he's winning the ball in them positions and they're fouling him. Interestingly, from that last score, Shannon as well got the short kick out and started that attack. He's everywhere.
Absolutely. His presence is certainly cannot be underestimated in this particular game. There's a lovely ball in over the top once again. Hand trying to keep it alive, succeeds in doing so, and kicks it in and kicks it over the bar. Again they made the space, again they created the opportunity, and again they took the score, this time from the St. Bridget's man, and this is the purple patch for the team in Primrose and Blue Call.
Yeah, that was a nice ball across. I'm not sure who gave it across. It looked like it was a small bit high, but he improvised and took it on the volley.
The mark, yeah.
Green, yeah.
Absolutely.
He improvised well anyways and put it over.
Certainly did. A huge score, 1 goal and 6 points now to 2 points. Roscommon lead here against Galway in the provincial semi-final. The kick out finds the target. Adam Tierney from Oughterard trying to do something here about the situation his team find themselves in at the moment. In case you've just joined us here, we played almost 24 minutes in the opening half. We have had the opening water break, and if you're tuned our way on Galway Bay FM or indeed watching our coverage on the Connacht GAA website tonight, you'll see and hear that it's Roscommon who are in the ascendancy here against a Galway team. A huge weekend for Galway. Under 20s in Croke Park tomorrow. The minor team now, the under 17 team, trying to do something about this situation that they find themselves in. It's the man from Anspittle who plays it inside there to Killian O'Careen once again. O'Careen has to recycle possession outside. Galway need a score, you feel, at this stage. Again, the ball is kicked in there towards Prendergast. Hugely impressive. The last day out against Leitrim. Looks to try and cut in field here as O'Flaherty. Once more, possibilities for the centre half forward. That's dropping in and it founds the target, and over it goes. McGarrett there, and they're getting a second bite of the game. It's a score that Galway needed at this stage. Brings them back a little bit more into contention. 3 points to a goal and 6. And you know something, Kevin, they need more of that. Composure in Galway's play in the forward line. Had to work hard to make the opening.
Yeah, one of the things that I felt about Galway is that they're very congested in front of goal. They've squeezed everything in, whereas the last day they used the space and the players were playing out into the corners.
Width is missing in their game.
The width
today.
is missing, yeah.
The width is missing into the game, and I think there's some more. I think switch has been made as well. Changes taking place. So obviously it's I suppose an opportunity, and it shows maybe that one or two things not going according to the game plan for Galway in this match so far. Kick out taken, ball well won in the middle of the field this time. This is better now from the men in maroon and white as they look to try and cut into the deficit that they're faced with here. Once again, Liam O'Connell trying to bring the ball forward, dropping this one down into the forward line, batted away there, and look who's back. Aaron Shannon again from the Roscommon Gaels club, wearing number 13, but his work rate back in defence, the way he makes himself available for kickouts has been massively impressive. Roscommon again playing that direct fast ball now when they work it out in defence, and there you go again it's Owen Colleran in possession. Again the Pádraig Pearse's man was fouled. It's a reoccurring aspect of the game. It's happening time and time again. He's a real handful in there for them, Cahill, and they're not coming to terms with it.
Yeah, and it's very hard for the full back there. There's 60 yards of space in front of him, and Colleran just has the pace. In fairness, the full back, he's right on his tail all the time.
Double marked, maybe a sweeper put in front for him
I'd say it won't be much longer.
Yeah, and you just feel that it's inevitable at this stage. Maybe you could say a tad perhaps naive from a Galway perspective, Kevin.
There's no doubt about it. The ball is being played in very, very early. I have to say I'm hugely impressed with Aaron Shannon. He's doing great work for them in defence, and he's delivering the ball quite early, quite quickly, and it's making a huge impact for Roscommon.
Yeah,
and they're playing that ball deep in.
Yeah, in fairness, the ball going into Colleran, like it's right in front of him. It's one bouncer, it's on his chest. Like, it's very hard to defend that.
Hopping ball is a nightmare for any defender, or maybe he just needs a little bit of reinforcements. Not that we're looking for any type of negative football, but there's another brilliant one driven in all the way in and over the bar by the man from Pádraig Pearse. How many is that now at the moment for him?
There's 4 frees he has now, and I think he has won all 4 himself.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing about it. They're not just easy frees. He's offering himself up there time and time again. It's Roscommon a goal and 7. It's Galway at 3 points at this stage. 27 minutes into the opening half, and really there's no doubt about it. The Galway full back line obviously been pushed and been threatened with the type of ball that's going in, and just looking to see what Galway are going to do. It's interesting that they've put their number 17 there, who has come in as well. Number 17 is Aaron Kavanagh, and he's gone on Shannon, the danger man of the Roscommon team, who has made so much happen. Here's Ryan Conlon, here's the centre half forward, shooting somewhat ambitiously, but shooting out to the right of the post and shooting wide. Interesting the role here, and I know Kevin picked him out a moment or two ago. Aaron Shannon's performance, they've had to change him marker on him. He's running and running and running.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to be going round after him all day. He's up here. He's in the full forward line now. He took the last two kickouts actually as well. He's been all over the place.
And Roscommon have won the Galway kickout. Well, momentarily won the Galway kickout. Has come back on the Galway side once again here. But Roscommon's work rate, I think that's really maybe probably the difference between the teams. The intensity that Roscommon are bringing to it, their work rate being epitomised by the performance there of young Shannon. But that's something I suppose that Galway just haven't got to grips with.
Yeah, well, it looks like Galway are like a tired team having played last week, and Roscommon are far fresher, and we were worried whether Roscommon would be up to the speed of the game as it went on. And of course, once they got the goal, they really have flowed and they have dominated this game.
Yellow card for Oisin Craig being shown there by the referee as well. So Oisin Craig, the Roscommon midfielder, becomes the latest player to be booked. You know, there's a lot of cards beginning to stack up. I wouldn't be surprised if we see maybe a numerical disadvantage in any of the teams before the end of this game is over. The conditions can be a little bit tricky as well. Here come Galway now. Here comes Matthew Mulvaney running, getting some space as Roscommon retreat to a more defensive position. That invites the Galway player to shoot. The goalkeeper judged it perfectly there. David Farrell, the cool boy from Castlereagh St. Kevin's, gets it out, again finds the intended target. Shane Walsh again, and they work the ball over towards this near side of the field. And Colin Neary from Strokestown now is the man who brings it forward. Possibilities again for Roscommon. There's that quick ball that we've mentioned on numerous occasions throughout the commentary, but on this particular occasion they're able to cut it out there before it goes to Darren Gately, and Galway can hit here on the counter-attack. McGarrett bringing the ball forward, that lift-footed delivery, down inside once more it goes. Here's the full forward of Corrine moving inside. Galway appealing for a decision there on this particular occasion, Kevin, and McGarrett has got it, and it's a penalty for Galway.
Yeah, the foul was definitely committed on David Prendergast as the ball was played across. It was in the square. There was no doubt when I saw it, if he blew the whistle, it was always going to be a penalty.
Well, this could be a telling moment in the game. Prendergast had such a wonderful game the last day out, but the foul has been conceded now, and it is a penalty, and it's going to be kicked in here by Prendergast himself, the man who was fouled. Sometimes to say, if you're fouled for a penalty, maybe it's not always wise to take it, but Prendergast is going to take it. In the goal is David Farrell. A telling moment here. Galway need something. They need a catalyst for a revival. Oh, and he's blasted the penalty in. He lost his footing and has got in and has gone over the bar at the point. It was almost like John Terry in the Champions League final. He lost his footing as he was running up there and ballooned it over the bar.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. You could see his feet just going from under him.
And it makes the scoreline now 4 points to a goal and 7. And more questions being asked for Galway. They probably needed a goal there, Kevin.
Yeah, it would have been a real fill-up just before half-time to get a goal. We're coming up to the 30-minute mark, and there's no doubt about it. We'll have a couple of extra minutes for the water break, but Galway certainly needed something out of that. Luckily enough, he did get a point, because initially I thought it had gone out to the right and wide.
Yeah, I think he was eyeing up the top right corner there.
Yeah, here comes Aaron Shannon once more, the Roscommon Gales man, bringing the ball forward. His work rate, his distribution has been absolutely brilliant, and the understanding that he's got with the full forward, Owen Colleran in there, that's really interesting to see. Colleran is the primary target time and time again. You could say Cahill is a little bit predictable, but it's hugely effective.
Yeah, and there wasn't that much space there, to be fair. Like Galway seemed to have clogged that up a small bit. But
Colleran has kicked
it was a very
another
good
one.
pass. It was very good pass.
Absolutely. The quality of the ball in that hopping ball going into the chest, really a ball that every forward loves, but he's still able to win it. He's getting the frees, he's taking the marks, he's getting the resulting points, and Roscommon at this stage now lead here by 1 goal and 8 to 4 points. It's a big lead for Roscommon at this stage as we head towards half time. But here comes Adam Tierney. Galway were a much better team in the second half. 6 days ago against Leitrim. It's the 6-day turnaround a factor. Galway looked tired.
They did look a bit stiff, and you'd have to say that it's taken them a while to get going in this game.
Yeah, and I think that to be fair, the wind has definitely risen up there since the start of the game, so that'll be a factor in the second half too.
It'll be a factor, but it's interesting to see the way that Roscommon are playing. It's a running game in main coming out of the fence, and that's helping them. Look at the run here from Conor Hand once again, the player from St. Bridges, looking to see what options is available. Has to check that run, comes back in field, links up with Shane Walsh from Oran inside the Galway half of the field now. The Oran player continuing along the far side of the field until he's fouled, and it's going to be another free in. Good play once again there from Shane Walsh. Well, it's an interesting point. The wind maybe is picking up a little bit in strength, but it's very much a running game that Roscommon are deploying out of defence.
Yeah, and we spoke about it a couple of minutes ago. That time when the Roscommon players coming out looked up, there was 2 players sitting in front of the full forward line, so they've definitely adapted that.
Yeah, a little bit surprised maybe it took so long, Kevin.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It did take a while for that to happen. But as you mentioned about the wind, I think the dome here is a factor as well, because it channels the wind straight down towards the goal here where the dressing rooms are.
Yeah, well, you never know. Anything like that could be a factor. The free eventually is kicked in there. This time it's going to drop short and Galway have it. Perhaps the breeze could be a factor after all in this particular game. Very, very mild when we arrived here this evening, but it definitely seems to have picked up in strength. Here's Conor Hand. He was involved in the last move. He gets this one onto the right boot. Hand dropping this one in. The goalkeeper has to bat it away and concede the point as it goes in and over the bar. Safe goalkeeper from James Egan. It was dropping in the nighttime sky, and with the floodlights, the goalkeeper took no chances, decided to palm it over the bar. It's another point for Roscommon. 1-9 to 4 points. Roscommon lead against Galway. 33 and a half minutes played at the end of the opening half, and James Egan from the St. James's Club about to take the kick out, and Alan Glenn is going to be happy to hear the half-time whistle. It sounds he'll want to get the teams back in there, or the Galway team, to deliver words to them as quickly as possible. Let's start off from a Roscommon perspective. I presume it'll be very much a case of steady as it goes at half-time.
Yeah, I suppose they would have been very worried after 5 or 6 minutes. Galway were all over them. There was, I think, a free over the far side, and there was a bit of a break in the play, and Roscommon sort of just upped the intensity after that. They've had a few very good performances. Aaron Shannon's work rate is very good. Owen Colleran has been very good, kicked 4 or 5 points, and Conor Hand there at the last point, that's his third from play.
1 or 2 positional switches already on the Galway team.
Yeah, not only that, has a couple of substitutions as well, and that tells you you're in trouble when that's happening. The wind is a factor, but I would say it's not the only factor. The big factor is that, for me, Roscommon on that first half performance are the better side. They played the better football, they worked the ball faster, they moved it much quicker. Galway have failed completely to get their full forward line into play. David Prendergast, Cillian O'Quirreen and Daniel O'Flaherty haven't seen any of the ball that they'd like to see. Maybe in the second half we might see the kind of delivery, some long delivery from Galway. The last day we saw Conal Gallagher kicking points. It hasn't been happening. We saw a couple of shots from Galway lads from out the field, and they dropped short in around the goal. You know, divide of ideas in a sense. So
all right, okay, we'll have more analysis to come, but for the moment we'll take a commercial break. Join us for the second half.
Hey everyone, Laura Whitmore here, and I'm an ambassador for the London Irish Centre, and I've seen firsthand the work that they do, the important work that they do, and I'm delighted that the London Irish Centre is a charity partner along with Roscommon GAA and Ballymore to be part of this incredible campaign, which is Win a Home in London. Say what? Yes, I just said it. So you could win a luxury apartment in London worth £695,000, and all you gotta do is pay for a ticket, which is €100, not even pounds, €100. And I know from working with the London Irish Centre how important these funds are. Amazing. For £100 that you could win this luxury home in London. I still can't get my head quite around it, but also that you're helping the London Irish Centre and Roscommon GAA. You have until December 30th, that's when the draw takes place. To buy a ticket, go to winahomeinlondon.com. Thank you so much.
You can't plan for what life throws at you. You just have to roll with the punches and move on. When I became my grandfather's primary caregiver in March, my priorities changed. It was tough, but we made it work. People say it's a lot of responsibility for a 17-year-old, but with the support of my family, I can continue to do what I love. There's nothing minor about that.
The Electric Ireland GAA Minor Championships. This is major.
As some of you know, I'm patron of the London Irish Centre in Camden, which is a brilliant place that does incredible community and culture work all year round, but especially during COVID and lockdown, helping people stay safe, connected and supported. So obviously these are challenging times for charities, so we have something very special for you. We are partnering with Roscommon and the GAA in the west of Ireland. Of course we are. The centre is giving you the chance to win a luxury 2-bed apartment in London City Island. So yeah, it's a luxury flat. It's worth worth almost £700,000. So you simply have to visit winnerhomeinlondon.com and buy a ticket for €100. Has to be euros, obviously, because it's organised in Ireland. And you enter the draw to win this flat. So visit winnerhomeinlondon.com for all the details. Get your tickets. Support great community causes. And thanks for everything. The big draw is on December the 30th.
Being named Monaghan Minor Captain for 2020 meant the world to me. But then my world turned upside down as my grandmother passed away from COVID-19. With no matches taking place, I tried to do something positive. When I heard that a teammate's little sister was seriously ill, the Monaghan Minor panel pulled together to plan a sponsored walk to get Millie the vital medical care she needs. There's nothing minor about that.
The Electric Ireland GAA Minor Championships. This is major.
Hey everyone, Laura Whitmore here, and I'm an ambassador for the London Irish Centre, and I've seen firsthand the work that they do, the important work that they do, and I'm delighted that the London Irish Centre is a charity partner along with Roscommon GAA and Ballymore to be part of this incredible campaign, which is Win a Home in London. Say what? Yes, I just said it. So you could win a luxury apartment in London worth £695,000, and all you gotta do is pay for a ticket, which is €100, not even pounds, €100. And I know from working with the London Irish Centre how important these funds are. Amazing. For £100 that you could win this luxury home in London. I still can't get my head quite around it, but also that you're helping the London Irish Centre and Roscommon GAA. You have until December 30th, that's when the draw takes place. To buy a ticket, go to winnerhomeinlondon.com. Thank you so much.
We all need somewhere. We who live for the day that might never come.
Are you excited?
We who go back again and again to where we come from.
Well, lads, what's the crack?
We who won't stop until we're unstoppable.
Very nice shoes tonight.
We who will never say no to getting stuck in.
Have you got it all free?
Yeah.
We who pass on every tradition and skill that was passed on to us.
Thanks.
We who love the days that come forever. Him, her, them, us. We all need somewhere that belongs to us all. GAA, where we all belong.
As some of you know, I'm patron of the London Irish Centre in Camden, which is a brilliant place. It does incredible community and culture work all year round, but especially during COVID and lockdown, helping people stay safe, connected and supported. So obviously these are challenging times for charities, so we have something very special for you. We are partnering with Roscommon and the GAA in the west of Ireland. Of course we are. The centre is giving you the chance to win a luxury 2-bed apartment in London City Island. So yeah, it's a luxury flat. It's worth almost £700,000. So you simply have to visit winnerhomeinlondon.com and buy a ticket for €100. Has to be euros, obviously, because it's organised in Ireland. And you enter the draw to win this flat. So visit winnerhomeinlondon.com for all the details. Get your tickets. Support great community causes. And thanks for everything. The big draw is on December the 30th.
COVID-19 has affected us all differently, but some are a lot more vulnerable than others. I saw firsthand how hard it was for people living with cystic fibrosis and wanted to do something. The entire GA community got behind the project as we looked to pass the slither, not the virus. We can make a major difference when we all come together.
There's nothing minor about that.
The Electric Ireland GAA Minor Championships. This is major.
Hey everyone, Laura Whitmore here, and I'm an ambassador for the London Irish Centre, and I've seen firsthand the work that they do, the important work that they do, and I'm delighted that the London Irish Centre is a charity partner along with Roscommon GAA and Ballymore to be part of this incredible campaign, which is Win a Home in London. Say what? Yes, I just said it. So you could win a luxury apartment in London worth £695,000, and all you got to do is pay for a ticket, which is €100, not even pounds, €100. And I know from working with the London Irish Centre how important these funds are. Amazing. For £100 that you could win this luxury home in London. I still can't get my head quite around it, but also that you're helping the London Irish Centre and Roscommon GAA. You have until December 30th, that's when the draw takes place, to buy a ticket. Go to winahomeinlondon.com. Thank you so much.
There are lots of different sides to Dublin, but nothing unites this city like the GAA. From Donabate to Dalkey, we all fly under the one flag. On May 16th, the Dublin Minor panel organised the Hurl for Hope for Pieta. Together, we hit 500,000 slitters in 1 hour to raise funds for those in need. There's nothing minor about that.
The Electric Ireland GAA Minor Championships. This is major.
And you're very welcome back to the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence, where our live streaming of tonight's Electric Ireland Connacht Minor Championship semi-final is brought to you by Club Rossi and their Win a Home in London competition. Don't forget, on the 30th of December, somebody will win a luxury 2-bedroom apartment on the London City Island worth £695,000 sterling. It could be you, and you can find out more information on winahomeinlondon.com, the website. Well, there's a place to be won here in the 2020 Connacht Minor Football Final as well. I can tell you the wind is beginning to pick up a little bit because it's blowing all our notes here in the presentation area to Kingdom Come. But when we look back at that team, I suppose everybody here waxing lyrically, Cathal, it must be said, about Roscommon's work rate, direct play and their overall performance in the opening half. So Cathal, Craig, from a Roscommon perspective, a fairly decent 30 minutes of football that we've just witnessed.
Yeah, they'll be very happy with it. I suppose we talked about here beforehand, maybe not having a game would have been a disadvantage. It seems to have been the other way. Maybe the having the game last week, we were a small bit tired, but as we spoke about there before the break, that wind is picking up. I was out halfway on the pitch there during the break, and there's a nice wind blowing now from left to right that wasn't there at the start of the game.
Definitely so, and that wind will be favouring Galway in the second half. However, the point was also made at the interval. It's not an 8-point win.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. It is 8 points. The missed penalty was really a big factor. Luckily enough, he did get a point out of it. It's very unfortunate. You know, the ground is very wet on top here, and there's been a lot of players that have been slipping, and he slipped just as he was about to take the penalty. He was looking, I'd say, to put it in the top right-hand corner. Went too high over the bar, but as I say, fortunate enough to get a point. 8 points, big ask for Galway.
Big ask for Galway indeed. The two teams back out. Galway, as we mentioned, made in a few positional and changes in personnel as the opening half has wore on, and certainly at this stage the referee back out as well. Mick McGurl in the centre of the field, about to throw in the ball here for the second half. Will it be Roscommon? Will it be Galway that will advance to the 2020 Connacht Minor Football Final? The final will be played in January. Remember, another game you can watch live here in the Connacht GAA Centre, or on the Connacht GAA website from the Centre of Excellence, this next Sunday. That's Mayo and Sligo in the second of the provincial semi-finals. Right now, Roscommon looking to try and consolidate their position here. Ryan Conlon kicking that one forward once again. Overlapping run coming in from Oisin Craig. Scored in the opening half, picked up a yellow card as well. Switches the ball back out to Owen Colleran, who has been on form from frees all afternoon, but he's been under some pressure there as he kicked that one out wide. Number 4, I think, maybe there for Roscommon so far in the game, and that opening chance in the second half comes and goes without making any alterations on the scoreline. The kick out from James Egan from the St James's Club, right-footed delivery, sends that one, almost poised himself like a golfer there. It eludes everybody in the middle of the field, and Galway have it, and McGarrett bringing the ball forward, and possibilities here for him. Plays it in over the top, the full forward or corner forward racing in there, David Prendergast, unable to keep it alive, and it's going to be a quick restart. And you can see the urgency in the Galway play there at the moment. James Egan, the goalkeeper, over on one side, but it's the Roscommon goalkeeper David Farrell who is preparing now to kick this one out from the Castlereagh St Kevin's Club. Farrell, he'll kick this one out right-footed. Good delivery on it again, down towards the sideline it goes. Possession vital, won by Roscommon in the middle of the field. Jamesy Green beginning to become more of a presence in there as well. Ward plays it in over the top once more, linking up with Ryan Conlon. Here's a good move from Roscommon as they walk the ball down into the inside forward line here, and if they can get another score at the start of the second half. It'll set them up nicely. The Roscommon player in possession tries to cross it in there, all a little bit untidy at the moment, almost like a game of ping pong, but back goes Adam Tierney to try and tidy up proceedings for Galway. Tries to work it out there towards Liam O'Connell, but again the pressure coming in from Conor Hand. Roscommon's intensity has been absolutely brilliant in this game. Their work rate has been huge. They've won another free, and there isn't a millisecond for a Galway player to settle on possession. Roscommon players are coming in, getting the tackles in, and it's unsettling them here, Cahill, in a major way.
Yeah, it was good work right there to get the ball back, and it was hard to see across the whole way there to what the free was, but I think it was number 11, Conlon, that got fouled in the finish.
Yeah, he was the player that was fouled, and has presented Roscommon here with a free, and another opportunity here for them to get a score. And again, it's going to be that man from Pádraig Pearse is about to kick this one in here. Owen Colleran. His club reached the Roscommon Minor Championship final this year. Ball kicked in, and again he does well to find the distance and the target and taps another one in. And I suppose the longer Roscommon keep the scoreboard ticking over here, the happier they're going to be.
Yeah, and that's Colleran's 6 point there now, 4 frees and 2 marks.
It's Roscommon 110, it's Galway 4 points. I'm sure Galway won't be hitting the panic buttons yet, but they are in a somewhat dangerous situation now at the moment, and another free has gone against them there, Kevin. Little things in the middle of the field where they started off so well. Roscommon really have got a foothold in that particular sector.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Roscommon. They really have bossed and bullied Galway. Galway were defending there for a few minutes and had a couple of chances to clear the ball, and Roscommon just bullied them out of it and bossed them out of it and won the ball back and won a free.
Gately was fouled by Morgan Moran in there, and that's going to be another free, well spotted by the referee. The linesman going in, just pointing out from the area from where the infringement took place. Matthew Mulvaney kicks the ball away. 1 or 2 words, choice words from the linesman back to him, but at the end of all this is going to be another free in for Roscommon. And Gately now, the man from the St. Kieran's club, is preparing to kick this one. Opportunity for him here to stretch out the lead a little bit further. Roscommon 110, Galway 4 points. Free goes right across the face of the goal there, just miscued that one ever so slightly. Again, Colleran in there to try and keep it alive. Roscommon are able to get secondary possession. They recycle it once again. Backwards Owen Colleran, the full forward, but Galway having a sheer weight of numbers, but they've given it away. Still there's possibilities here for the Roscommon side as Ryan Conlon tries to bring the ball forward there under immense pressure, manages to recycle it out to Colm Neary. Still they hold on to it. Here's Owen Ward now. Owen Ward bringing the ball forward. Roscommon all the time attacking the Galway goal, and it's another free in for the team who lead by 110 to 4 points. Almost 4.5 minutes played at the start of the second half. The referee has got the notebook out again, and really Galway are in such a dangerous position here at the moment. The game plan not working, Roscommon's intensity troubling them, Kevin, and they have another player about to go into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, and I'd say it's in, I don't know who's the man that's probably going to be spoken to now by the referee, perhaps giving him a card as well. But you could see in that passage of play again the way that Roscommon got the hand in, a yellow card. Roscommon got the hand in as Galway had possession of the ball, knocked it away from Galway. This is the bullying and the bossing that I was talking about. You know, the intensity of Roscommon has been ferocious.
Yeah, Cahill?
Yeah, and there was probably no need for that. I think that was a late hit there after some good work.
Yeah, and it's O'Donoghue who's picked up the yellow card, the man from Killererin. So the free will come here for Roscommon. Another opportunity to stretch out the lead even further, but that one has been kicked in, and they're not able to keep it kicked in and kicked wide. They're not able to keep it alive, and it's gone out to the left of the post and has gone out wide. A sustained period of pressure from Roscommon here at the start of the second half, but again, you would expect Galway to come back at some stage in this game, and it's important, I suppose, from a Roscommon perspective, that they take the scores that creating the chances from at the moment.
Yeah, Roscommon have missed 2 chances there from frees that they would have obviously liked to get. There's another change here on the Galway team.
Yeah, more switches taking place, Kevin.
Yeah, Galway, I see they're taking off Ryan Kavanagh.
Yeah, there's a lot of big names from the last day, players that you would have expected maybe to feature a little bit more prominently in the game, are just finding it somewhat difficult to get going here. Roscommon have overturned possession again on Galway, and now they're going to walk the ball in here towards Aaron Shannon. Still a force in this game to Conor Hand. Hand running towards the edge of the D, the Galway D, onto the left boot, slightly off balance as he kicks that one, and it goes out to the left of the post as we look down at it and goes out wide. I suppose Roscommon, their forward line are winning so much possession in there, but the difference is maybe Galway aren't conceding as many frees this time round at the start of the second half, and Roscommon's accuracy from play not on a par compared to what it was from frees.
Yeah, but I think that's definitely down to the wind here that we spoke about. It's definitely harder kicking into that, and if Galway can get some ball into the full forward line, they'll do some damage in there.
Yeah, that's always going to be the real fear from Roscommon's perspective, the real hope from Galway's perspective, but it's the team in Primrose and Blue who come marauding forward again. It's the centre half back Alan McManus, a famous name from the Connacht GAA club, kicks this one in, drop short, lacked conviction, and James Egan is there, the Galway goalkeeper, to gather it, and Galway start all over again now. Ball kicked out towards this near side of the field, in there towards Gary Higgins, one of the players that has come on as a sub for Galway in this match, runs into the tackle, ball squirms free, McGarrett goes back down to gather it, succeeds in getting the ball up, and Galway have it once again here. Now they kick it into the forward line, trying to almost copy a ploy that Roscommon used. Prenderville will be one of the players inside they'll be looking for, but great play by Michael Sugru there, the St. Bridget's cornerback, getting the tackle in at precisely the right time, tightened the marking, close marking from Roscommon all throughout. Sugru has gone to the ground, he's been fouled, it's going to be a free out, and you know something, we've I suppose spoken plenty about Roscommon's forward play in this game, but that piece of cornerback play, Cathal, from Michael Sugru, it epitomised everything that you need from a cornerback there.
Yeah, he done really well. The Galway forward tried to turn him inside, and he just got a hand. So the Galway defender forward was probably unlucky there as well. He was trying to do the right thing.
Yeah, I think it was a kind of somewhat of a highish enough tackle on the end of it, but it is going to be a free in, and I suppose the wind been taken a little bit out of the sails, the momentum going a little bit at this stage. But Galway had made an awful lot of switches in this game so far, Kevin.
Yeah, and they brought in Gary Higgins. He scored a point the last day. They brought him in instead of Ryan Kavanagh. There was a yellow card there for Killian O'Quirreen for that particular tackle. But once again, the ball that was played into Prendergast, they have to admire the way the Roscommon man got the hand in, knocked the ball away, and that's what the difference is between the teams.
Tell you one thing about this Roscommon particular team, the way they're coached is absolutely fantastic. The little things that they're doing, but they're doing it ever so well here. Been a hugely impressive performance of them so far, and here they come again. Here comes Colm Neary now, bringing this one forward, breaks the opposition 45-metre line onto the edge of the D, gets his pass away into Conor Hand. Conor Hand fancies to go for a score, and Conor Hand has kicked it in and kicked it over the bar. The St. Bridget's man gets the latest score. Hand takes the point for Roscommon, and they lead here in the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence by 111 to 4 points. And there'll be people at home and listening to this call from a Roscommon perspective will be pinching themselves to think that it's going this well.
Yeah, because this was not expected at all, and that's 4 points now for Conor Hand there after a great run from Neary from the 5 position.
Yeah, made by Neary, no doubt about it, and Hand was the man to finish it off. Galway will know they'll have to get a bit of a revival goal. Gallagher tries to do something when it gets the shot in, and it takes the paint almost off the crossbar going over. They needed a score. Gallagher has provided it, and it's now Roscommon 111, Galway moving up to 5 points at this stage. Still a long way back for the maroon and white, the team who are the defending provincial champions here as well, let's not forget. But certainly Roscommon now really taken to them, a Galway team that have dominated the championship here along with Mayo. 21 titles for Mayo so far and 20 for Galway, but really at the moment, Cathal, the odds are pointing that it's going to be Roscommon who are heading for the provincial final.
Yeah, Galway will have to get a few scores on the board. That was a good drive through from Gallagher. They need probably more of that from him. It was a great score.
One or two of the Roscommon players going down, picking up a little bits of knocks, albeit, but good game management as well, Kevin, taking, I suppose, the flow out of the game, stopping Galway's momentum, and I suppose the longer it goes in the stop-start nature, it's almost benefiting Roscommon.
Yeah, there was a chance there perhaps of a goal, and maybe Gallagher might have rushed the effort a bit. He might have taken another step forward. The ball gone against them here, free gone against them there. I was surprised at that one. I thought the foul was the other way.
I would have thought it was going the other way as well.
Yeah, Daniel O'Flaherty very disappointed.
Yeah, no, the ref has reversed the decision there.
Yeah, he's overturned it, and he's given the free to Galway. So the Galway players may be feeling quite entitled to be incensed with that particular decision, but in fairness to Michael McGurl, he's rectified it. Now, let's see, can Galway mount a comeback here? Adam Tierney from Oughterard on the 45-metre line, looking to see what's ahead of him, trying to survey his options there, but again it's all a little bit too tight. The width that we admired in Galway's performance the last day, simply not there today for one reason or another. Rory Donald was the man that played that one on. Now the shot is eventually going to come in from distance, dropping in dangerously. Under it there is the Roscommon goalkeeper, David Farrell. Read it well. Always difficult to judge it on a nighttime sky like this with the floodlights, but he did well. And Roscommon come away with it. Owen Ward from the St. Kieran's club. Roscommon have looked really assured when it comes to moving the ball from defence all evening here in this provincial semi-final. Going in there to try and gather it back was Colin Neary. Neary emerges. Oh, he's been hit high twice there. And the Galway centre half back, Darren O'Malley, well, he mistimed that to say the least. He was overzealous. It was badly aimed. It was way too high for a start, and he's going to be spoken to.
He's already got a yellow card in the first half.
He could be in trouble.
In the game, so he could be in trouble here
yeah.
if he gets a second one.
Yeah.
He could be in real trouble. Well, you can sense there's a lot of frustration creeping into Galway's play, Kyle.
He's probably lucky enough there.
Yeah, well, Michael McGurl wouldn't have had the benefit maybe of what we just seen there in the camera as well. Linesman is in having a chat with him as well there about that last particular incident. But there's no doubt about it, I suppose, the intensity that Roscommon have brought here. And I know it's early enough, relatively early enough stages here. We have to have the second water break yet, Kevin. But you can almost sense the frustration here. That's the beauty of being down on the sideline doing the commentary. From looking at the players' body language, you can sense frustration in Galway's performance.
Absolutely, but you'd have to say that Roscommon have maintained the intensity that they brought to the game from early on. They've maintained that all the way through. They're fighting for every ball. They're putting in the hand. They're winning the balls. You know, and in fairness to them, it shows on the scoreboard. Change there in the Galway team. They brought on the number 22, which is Jack Dowd from Down, and he has come on. He didn't start at the last day. He's come on now instead of number 12, Liam O'Keneela.
That's the latest change be made. O'Keneela, who again was another star performer from them the last day. Just shows so many things not working for them today. Here come Roscommon. Craig recycling it to Colleran once again onto the Galway 45-metre line. He goes. Difficult to control the ball, but he's weaved his way past the Galway cover there. Kicks it in again towards the inside forward line. Roscommon holding on to possession. Player fouled was Darren Gankley again, who's a good outlet in there, a good target man in there. Did really well to win that. It wasn't the most advantageous positions. Now they're going to take the free quickly. Perhaps they can sense there could even be a goal here. Back into the back of the net it goes. Conor Hand is the man who finishes it. Brilliant finish. Low and hard. They took the quick free. Galway switched off. Hand took the opportunity. And Roscommon now at this stage surely look to be heading to a Connacht final.
Yeah, that was free that was brought in. I'm not sure what happened there. Gately took it short, touching Craig, who slotted across to Conor Hand, and a goal to add to his 4 points.
Oh, it was an absolute brilliant finish as well from young Hand, and Roscommon now at this stage have given themselves a real chance here. 2 goals and 11 points to 5 points. The stopwatch telling us 14 minutes played. We still have to have the second water break, but that concession to that second goal, Kevin, that's really disappointing from Galway.
Yeah, Galway just fell asleep on that one, but Roscommon have been doing that all through the afternoon or the night time here. They've been playing the ball quickly, sharply, moving it really quickly through the hands at all times, and it's been very effective for them.
Gary Higgins' latest ball to play in there for Galway again doesn't really find the intended target, and out over the line it goes and wide. And really, I suppose Galway's plan up front in particular is just lacking a little bit of cohesion at the moment. Roscommon having a player maybe suffering the effects of cramp as well down there. Seems to be a little bit of treatment that's been needed for that. But really, I suppose at this stage you've got to, I suppose, admire the way that Roscommon have frustrated Galway as well in many ways here this evening with the intensity, work rate, tackling. I suppose the perfect game plan in many ways, it must be said here.
Yeah, and I suppose a lot of it is as has mentioned several times, is kind of down to work rate and winning the dirty ball.
That dirty ball indeed, and the work rate, and that's very much been hugely beneficial for Roscommon. And here they come again now on the attack as they look to try and maybe mount some more scoring opportunities here late on before we have the water break here at this particular stage. But Galway have managed to win it back here deep on the road half of the field. Back there was Adam Tierney now, and as he was trying to work his way out, it is going to be a free, and they decide to go back inside to James Egan, the goalkeeper. Egan switches it over towards the far side of the field. It's becoming alarming now at this stage, to say the very least, for Galway here, as Roscommon hold all the aces at the moment, but still it's the Galway team that have firepower. That's a dangerous ball inside, well anticipated and well read again by David Farrell, the Castlereagh St. Kevin's goalkeeper. Spotted the danger, was out quickly to clear. Ball played out towards Owen Ward, far side of the field here. In case you've just joined us, Roscommon 2 goals and 11 points, Galway 5 points. The game, of course, live on the Connacht GAA website this evening, and of course radio commentary all also available on Galway Bay. Good evening to you, wherever you're picking up our coverage today. Right now, Roscommon on the attack here, working the ball over towards Shane Walsh, and Walsh played it inside towards his intended target. Darren Gately, he goes to the ground. He was fouled, and it's going to be a free almost on the 45-metre line as Mick McGurl arrives on the scene of the crime. The investigating officer has got the notebook out. More punishment about to be taken. Referee about to conclude his investigations here, and it could well end with another Galway name going into the book, Kevin.
Yeah, we're going to see Morgan Martin getting a yellow card there. He's unfortunate, really, just that angle, but too many fouls in there, and the referee is going to punish it for them.
Yeah, and it's going to be another free for Roscommon. They're going to be kicking into this breeze that I suppose has maybe impacted, as Cahill mentioned, the level of accuracy and the rate of accuracy when it comes to finishing, but Roscommon still returning a healthy score. And here's Aaron Shannon. I suppose there's great GAA DNA in this particular guy, Cahill, isn't there?
Yeah, nephew Ross Shannon, everyone will know him from Roscommon Gaels. They're not too unlike each other on the field either.
Yeah, there's similarities there at the moment. So once more, Mick McGurl, referee, going in, and some more tidying up and bookkeeping for him to do. Alan McManus is the player who has been...
I think the linesman called his attention to that.
To that one. McManus from Clonagale, been spoken to there by the referee at the moment, as another yellow card. So when all the administration work has been completed, there's going to be a free in here eventually for Aaron Shannon from the Roscommon Gaels club. Going to kick this one from the carpet. Probably the wind could be a factor in that particular decision as well. Shannon placing the ball carefully on the ground, just smack bang on the 45-metre line. Right-footed delivery, always tailing out. Will it stay in play? It will. Roscommon are going to be able to recycle it here. Still there's an opportunity of a score. Intelligent use of possession. Back to Shannon, who kicked the free just a couple of moments ago. Out here to Oisin Craig. Oisin Craig shoots and shoots wide. And the second opportunity coming the way, but they weren't able to take it. 7 wides, we think, now at this stage for Roscommon in the game so far. But still they've hit a healthy return. A scoreline of 2 goals and 11. 5 points for Galway. Referee blows the whistle. We've got the second of the water breaks coming up, and really I suppose at this stage that second water break will be relatively good news for Galway, an opportunity for them maybe to try and change 1 or 2 things round, but they're in a very difficult position, Carl, to try and change anything at the moment.
Yeah, and I suppose that Roscommon goal kind of maybe came a small bit against the run of play. It was a good short move. Dave McManus there at 6 has really come into the game in that quarter. Some very powerful runs there for a 17-year-old.
Yeah, definitely so. We've mentioned a little bit maybe I suppose about the cohesion in Galway's play compared to what we witnessed 6 days ago. Just hasn't been available there today. The type of ball that's going into the forward line as well, I know there's pressure on it, but it's not really giving them every chance of getting scores or any chance of getting scores.
It's not anything like the great ball that was going in for Roscommon in the first half.
Yeah.
It's a ball that's a hit and hope in many ways, and the player is going to have to work really hard to try and win it inside in the full forward line. The other aspect about it was at the start of the second half, for the first 10 minutes, Roscommon had about maybe 6 attacks. They scored twice out of those 6 or 7 attacks. Galway were doing well. They were defending it well, and they were holding Roscommon out. But what was happening was the transition then from the full back line out to the full forward line just wasn't happening for Galway. There's a big void in the middle of the field. The gap between the Galway half back line and the Galway half forward line is huge, and they're not getting that ball across that gap into the half forward line, into the full forward line, and it's not good ball. It's not easy ball for a forward to work on. All the time they're chasing the ball, trying to get to it. It's just beyond their reach. The pass is just not sticking for Galway, and again the intensity the Roscommon have been bringing to the game has been something really you have to admire. They've bossed and bullied Galway all the time during the course of that
it's
particular
been a
game.
Hugely accomplished performance from Roscommon, there's no doubt about it. Our coverage tonight brought to you by the Club Rossi initiative, Win a Home in London, winahomeinlondon.com, the website where you'll be able to see all the details. December the 30th is the magic date. You could, by buying a ticket for that, end up owning a property in a much coveted area of London. That's all for another day. Kick out will come here from James Egan, the Galway goalkeeper. The Roscommon Miners could have a big day to look forward to right at the start of 2021. The Connacht Minor football final, but anything can happen at underage football. Still a long way to go. Ball inside here with Ryan Conlon from the Roscommon Gaels club. Switches it over there towards the far side of the field as Roscommon work the ball onto the Galway 45-metre line now. And again it's sprayed intelligently over towards this near side of the field. Man in possession is Shane Walsh, the Oran player. Checks his run and gets his pass away. Still Roscommon happy to try and carve out the opening with Conor Hand. Scored their second goal. Back out it comes here towards the midfielder Oisin Craig. Craig trying to weave his way through, almost soccer style there. Goes down low to gather the ball under some pressure. Galway players converging him and Galway come away with the ball. Whistle sounds from the referee. Free out for the men in maroon and white. Taken quickly. Now is played down the field once more. Galway with a number of subs introduced right throughout this game. Conal Gallagher was the midfielder. Again Roscommon have one possession back, and again it's won back by Owen Ward from St. Kieran's. Owen Ward kicks the ball from left to right as we look down and finds the intended target. Trying to play it away there once more towards Ward, who was the intended target of the 1-2. Roscommon holding on to possession all the time here. Now they walk it into a central position to Ryan Conlon. Ryan Conlon shoots immediately, shoots on sight, shoots over the bar, and it's another point for Roscommon. Roscommon hit 2-12 on the scoreboard. 5 points for Galway in wintertime conditions. I know the conditions are good here, but 2-12, that's an impressive return.
Yeah, some of their attacking play has been very impressive. Just the pace that they're going at, and in fairness, they're mixing it between kicking it and giving it and going.
Yeah, there's a nice, I suppose, variation in that Roscommon game plan, but the off-the-ball movement is good as well, Kevin.
It is, it certainly is, and not only that, their ability to win back ball at the same time lost. Galway had possession there, just couldn't hold on to it, just couldn't hold possession of the ball, lost their footing, and of course the ball was turned over.
Galway take the mark in this particular occasion. It comes here to Mac Garrett, the player introduced for the start of this particular match. Plays it out here towards Adam Tierney from Oughterard. Tierney uses the support there of Jake Slattery. Galway all the time working the ball back to Gallagher, shoots, drops short, and again David Farrell, who has looked as safe as houses there for Roscommon. I know there's a win-a-house promotion being ran and sponsored this particular competition here, but the Roscommon goalkeeper, he looks very, very assured again. He's in the play once more to Michael Sugru, the cornerback from St. Bridget's. Across it comes to Luke Walsh, the number 4 from Pádraig Pearses. Walsh turns as he was about to engage the Galway cover, and eventually they're walking towards Owen Ward, very close to the sideline, 45 metres out from his own goal. Roscommon continuing to attack along this near side of the field. Ball squirms free once again, and Tierney leaves it to Matthew Mulvaney, the St. James's man. Switches it back into a midfield area. Where waiting is Daniel O'Flaherty. O'Flaherty plays it in over the top. O'Curreen looking to chase after this one. Again, the ball really could always be described as advantageous for the Galway full forward, and the whistle sounds again from the referee, and that's really what's killing Galway, Kevin. The delivery and the quality of the ball going in to what is a very talented forward, it really isn't giving them a chance.
Yeah, when you're 6 points on the board against 2-12, you tend to panic that little bit, and the ball was played too quickly, too early into a space that was too challenging for the forward to get to.
David Farrell, goalkeeper from Castlereagh St. Kevin's, lobs the kick out again into the midfield zone. Galway now have it, and there's real urgency in the Galway play now at the moment as they try and come forward once again. Whistle sounds from the referee. One of the Galway players fouled as he was on the way through there, and that's going to be another free in for Galway, but it breaks up momentum in their play. Number 24, Jake Slattery from Dunmore McHale, so it's the man who picked up the infringement, picked up the foul as he was going through, and it's going to be a free in for Galway. And it looks maybe that Conal Gallagher is going to be the man who is preparing to kick this one.
I think it's actually O'Curreen that has the ball.
O'Curreen has it, yes, you're right, and the player's moving inside, and it's going to be an opportunity here now for Galway to, try and reduce the deficit a little bit here. They need a score. Perhaps you could respectfully suggest they maybe even need a goal at this stage. They've gone short. O'Flaherty back again towards that central roll it goes. Now you can see what Galway can maybe try and work with this one again. It's a poor ball inside there. Luke Walsh is the man who emerges with possession as another Galway attack fails to yield the desired result, and Roscommon's defence once again stands firm, stands tall. The stopwatch tells us here we've played 25 minutes and 22 seconds in the second half. If you've just joined us, Roscommon lead 2-12 to 5 points, but Galway are on the attack here, and they've got a number of players coming streaming forward. Again, the whistle sounds from the referee. It's going to be a free in, but it's difficult for them to penetrate that Roscommon defence, Cahill.
Yeah, Roscommon had a lot of players back. I think McManus was booked there a while ago, so he might be in a small bit of trouble here.
Yeah, indeed, he was booked a little bit earlier on. All right, the man from Connacht GAA, Alan McManus, been spoken to.
Yeah, Galway, I suppose, trying to, because the scoreline, they're trying to force goals here now to have chances to put it over the bar, but realistically, they probably need a goal at this stage.
Second yellow card for McManus there, and it's going to be followed by red. Eventually the referee pulls it out of the pocket, and McManus had already started his run, so that's going to be the numerical disadvantage. So Galway will be looking to try and maybe do something about it here, and maybe try and build on any advantage they can get at this stage. And the ball has been kicked in there and over the bar by Killian O'Careen, and O'Careen has got the point there for the Galway men, and that reduces the deficit a little bit. It's now 2 goals and 12 for Roscommon, and it's 6 points for Galway. Still a big mountain to climb.
A huge mountain to climb, but you'd have to say, in fairness to Galway, they're battling away, they're keeping at it. And you know, if they could get a break of a goal, who knows, it would be double scores, but it might give them a lift to really force it over the last 10 minutes or so.
Kick out for Roscommon just hasn't worked out there as planned, and Rory Donnellan is the man who intercepted it immediately for Galway. They've got 2 points now in a row at this stage. The tribesmen, the men in maroon and white, have kicked 2 points in quick succession there, and that's brought them back, well, I suppose, ever so closer there, as the Roscommon kick out really failed to find the intended target. I suppose from a Roscommon perspective now at this stage, always dangerous when the finishing line is inside, Cahill, that, you know, they continue to keep doing the simple things well.
Yeah, I suppose they're trying a few short kick-outs there that they weren't trying previously. They've gone route 1 here again, but Galway are definitely coming into it more, and they're winning more ball around the middle and the breaks.
Yeah, we always expected at some stage that Galway would get a purple patch, and maybe it's arrived now at this particular stage. Conal Gallagher, right-footed delivery from the midfielder, and it's not his finest effort, but Galway are going to be able to keep it in play. It looks as if it was going wide. It hasn't gone wide. It's come back out to Gary Higgins, who's tried to recycle possession, but again Roscommon have players back there to deal with it. Again, they've got plenty of reinforcements in defence, but they've contrived to give away possession there once again. Back to O'Flaherty for Galway. O'Flaherty switches it over towards a more central role. No doubt about it, Galway are trying to work a goal at this stage, but they have to be maybe content with the point, as the ball has been kicked in there and kicked over the bar, Kevin.
Yeah, great score for Galway there. They moved it right across the goal mouth, and it was kicked over the bar. I think it might have been actually Prendergast.
Rory Donnellan, was it?
Yeah. Rory Donnellan, was it? Yeah, but that got that one. So fair play to him. Narrows the gap a little bit, put a bit more respectability on the scoreboard for Galway.
Yeah, they didn't panic it on that particular occasion, and as the chance presented itself, they were happy to take the point. And one of their players just receiving treatment now at the moment, and the scoreboard tells us 2 goals and 12 points for Roscommon and 8 points for Galway. The scoreboard lit up majestically over to the goal to our right, the goal that Roscommon are defending in the opening half, the goal, or the second half, the goal that David Farrell, the Castlereagh St. Kevin's man, is going to kick out, and a Roscommon man down injured as well. Midfielder, isn't it, that's gone down there? Oisin Craig, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like there was a strike there, I think.
Was there, I didn't see what happened there between them, but certainly the player has gone down injured.
And there's a Galway man being spoken to as well. Craig is on the ground injured. He's receiving treatment all the time.
Daniel O'Flaherty, I think, is going to be spoken to by the referee.
We're just monitoring
Daniel
it here.
O'Flaherty,
O'Flaherty have been spoken to by the referee as well. So referee having a long conversation with the Galway number 13, and he's reached into the pocket, and it's another yellow card. Cards beginning to mount up here in the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence. Time ticking away on Galway's involvement, it seems, in the 2020 Connacht Minor Championship. The medical team for Roscommon have signalled to the sideline that a change is going to be needed here as well, just in the closing stages. You know something, Craig has played well in the middle of the field for Roscommon there today.
Yeah, he's put in a great shift to work. He hasn't caught a huge amount of ball, but he has really got around, and his link play has been very good.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The work rate has been absolutely fantastic here from a number of the Roscommon players right throughout this particular game. I suppose we're into this stage, gentlemen. Maybe your thoughts on a possible man of the match?
Well, you'd have to consider that the Roscommon captain was superb. Owen Colleran, I think he was brilliant. Took all the chances that came his way. But Aaron Shannon was also extraordinary. He worked from the full back line to the full forward line and was involved in the goal, and really had a telling effect on the game.
And Conor Hand has 1-4 there from wing forward as well, which is a very good display.
Very telling indeed. A number of players all round for Roscommon here who have certainly delivered the goods. It'll be Roscommon that'll be going forward, it seems now, to meet either Mayo or Sligo. They play on Sunday next. Galway on the attack. That ball dropping in there from Rory Donlan's effort, and it drops in and over the bar, and Donlan has got a point, and it's another one for Galway. They're putting a few scores on the board now at this stage. 9 points for Galway now, and 2 goals and 12.
For Rory there in a row, 3 in a row from him.
Yeah, well, he's certainly doing the business there. He's keeping the scoreboard ticking over, but you have to wonder at this stage as we enter into injury time. We've had the second quarter break as well, and there have been 1 or 2 stoppages, but really, I suppose, from a long way out, it always seemed in this game that Galway needed goals to get back into it, and their failure to penetrate the Roscommon defence, Kevin, that ultimately was one of their downfalls.
I'd have to say that the way the Roscommon was set up and the intensity that they brought to the game and the tackling that they brought in, I had to admire their tackling all the way through, because they kept getting the hand in, kept knocking the ball away from Galway, and they didn't give away the frees, and I think that was crucial.
Signs of a well-coached team, Cathal.
Yeah, they're really up for this game, whatever they've done beforehand, and I think just the performance is built on the work rate.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, and particularly in the opening half, and a lovely mark taken again there once more by Owen Collar, and once more the full forward kicks it in quickly here to Ryan Conlon, who had got in over the top. Galway had committed players forward. Ryan Conlon bearing in on goal. He's got a player free outside him. Roscommon could try and finish it here. They walk the ball back into a central role again. Conlon going in to gather, and the referee blows the whistle. Ball touched on the ground by a Roscommon hand, and it's going to be a free out to Galway. Well, I suppose Galway are pushing in forward at this stage, Kevin, and the likelihoods they could leave themselves a little bit more exposed at the back.
Yeah, they could indeed, and a fantastic catch there by Dylan Coleman for Roscommon. He's come in for the injured number 8, Oisin Craig, and he made a big impact when he came in, nearly released Roscommon for a goal.
Jack Slattery was fouled as he was trying to get by there for Galway. It's going to be a free in on the Roscommon 45-metre line. Gary Higgins is going to be the player who is going to take it for Galway. A little bit deprived of options immediately in front of him, so he goes sideways. He gives it inside to Rory Donlan once more, and back out it comes here to the number 22, Jack Dowd. Jack Dowd takes his shot in, and Jack Dowd has found the target, and he kicks another one in and over the bar, and Galway now hit double digits on the scoreboard at this stage. Galway 10 points, Roscommon 2 goals and 12, 18-10, still 8 between them. Stopwatch telling us 33 minutes played almost here at the end of the second half. A hugely impressive performance from the men in Primrose and Blue. The kick out taken once more by David Farrell, the Roscommon goalkeeper from Castlereagh St. Kevin's, and now they play along with it over the top. Racing after it is Ryan Conlon over on the far side of the field, close to the sideline. The sideline flag is a casualty over there in that particular passage of play, but it's Galway who emerge with possession here now. Time is running out for them in their championship involvement for 2020. Jack Dowd from Dowd is the man in possession. Plays the ball in quickly there towards O'Careen once more. The full forward has it, goes down low together, but again Roscommon's intensity, tackling absolutely brilliant, marking tight, and now they're on the counter-attack. Roscommon, and they're moving the ball quickly forwards here. Once more, referee spotted an infringement, and it's going to be another free in there for Roscommon. And again, the Roscommon tackling, their ability to dispossess Galway time and time again in this game, Kyle. That's been another big factor in this win.
Yeah, there was a good ball put in there, but it really good defending turned it over, and I suppose the pace they came out at then was key.
Was absolutely.
I think every time they've turned them over, I think the pace is the key to it is the pace.
They move the ball so quickly, Carl. Yeah, that's it. And you have to admire again the way the 2 players on 1 player back there in defended for Roscommon, and the way they robbed the ball off him. No foul again, no foul committed, fair turnover, and Roscommon come away with it.
Roscommon 2 goals and 12 points. Galway 10 points. This game, of course, live on the Connacht GAA website, and also available to our listeners on Galway Bay FM on this Friday evening. Hard to believe, the eve of the All-Ireland final, and only a few days away from Christmas Eve. It really is a strange time of year. Ball won there again by Owen Collar, and the Roscommon full forward onto the left boot, has the confidence to go for a shot, but it goes out across the face of the goal and tails out wide. But I tell you something, he delivered in spades when the chips are down in the opening half. His ability to win marks, his ability to take frees, his ability to keep the scoreboard ticking over has been a central factor in Roscommon's seemingly victory here this evening. The goalkeeper about to take the kick out, James Egan, over to the goal to our left. Egan now preparing to kick this one, looking to see who's available out the field. Flaherty.
It's going to be a booking here, I'd say. He's going to speak to Rory Donlan.
Yeah, Rory Donlan being spoken to now by the referee, and you know something, I suppose Galway really wanted momentum. They wanted, I suppose, continuity. They wanted some, maybe a flow to their game, and that hasn't happened in the second half. It's been very stop-start.
Very stop-start. Yellow card there for Rory Donlan. Too much of that for Galway right throughout the game. You know, just were at 6s and 7s when it came to matching the intensity of Roscommon.
35.5 minutes played now at this stage, right into injury time. We are at the end of the second half here as Roscommon continue to hold a commanding lead. Ball played in dangerously over the top, but really too much power, too much put onto that particular pass, and again it goes out to the right, and again it goes wide, and again it's a disappointing ball in there for Galway as David Farrell again, the goalkeeper, prepares to take the kick out here well into injury time at the end of the second period of play. Farrell looks to see what's going to be available for him. One or two Galway players just trying to cut off any possible short kick out, so he's going to be forced to go long, and does go long, and again Roscommon win possession. Happy to take the mark there is Conor Hand, way back in a central role, switches it over to the far side of the field. Roscommon moving here with a lot of purpose to their play, even at this late stage of the game, and once more they've worked the ball in here to a position where they might be able to get a score. Good block going in there from the Galway defender, however, breaks down. Aaron Kavanagh was trying to win it back, but Roscommon have managed to pick their pocket again, and this could be an insurance score. It is kicked in and kicked over the bar, and again that score coming from the block down, coming from the work rate, and coming from their ability to win possession back here, Cahill.
Yeah, that was super. I think it came from a block down there.
Yeah, it was a block down which eventually led to the score, and it was well taken as well. Galway coming forward here once again. Adam Tierney has the supporting player outside him. Jack Slattery from Dunmore. Slattery involved again in the move, plays it outside here to McGarrett. McGarrett no way through the Roscommon defence, and he ported a Storvis to try to clear that one. Only as far as Jack Dowd it comes. Still Jack Dowd weaves past a couple of tackles, links up inside with Dara O'Malley, and O'Malley is happy to take the point as it goes in and over the bar, and another score there for the Galway team.
Yeah, good score from Galway in response to the one that they conceded at the other end of the field, and you'd have to say that it's been a fairly good effort from Galway. You know, they were well out of it at half time.
Yeah, particularly in the second half.
Yeah.
So that second goal from Roscommon forced Galway probably to go for goals when they could have maybe had a few more points, but I suppose if they needed to get one of them.
And there goes the full-time whistle and confirmation of Roscommon's victory. They've won this game convincingly, 2 goals and 13 points to 11 points. Cahill, they've had to wait almost, I suppose, 12 months before this game finally came around for them. It has come, and it's been some performance, and I know you're both probably thinking about maybe man of the match selections at this stage, Cahill.
Yeah, I couldn't probably look past Aaron Shannon there. He set the platform for that win, I think, in the first half. Some really good performances out from that from Owen Collar, and Conor Hand got one 4 there. Gately was good, McManus at 6, but I think Aaron Shannon's work rate, he was up here in corner forward setting up play. He was down defending and taking short kick-outs. I don't know how we got around the field so much.
His work rate was absolutely immense, but so too was the majority of the Roscommon players here. Their intensity, their work rate, their hunger.
That was a great team display, I have to say it. Great team display. Like, just think about it. Can you remember any shot that the Roscommon goalie had to save? There wasn't anything. He was never threatened throughout the game. And that'll give you an idea of the quality of the full back line, because the Galway full forward line was supposed to be one of their real strengths. Didn't work for them today, and Arden Shannon, I'd agree with you, was absolutely fantastic up and down the field. Got the opening goal which settled Roscommon, brought them right into the game, and they never looked back from that.
No doubt about it, Kevin. It's been a difficult year. There was only the 6-day turnaround for Galway as well, and I suppose maybe a combination of all those factors probably contributed to them not getting into their flow this evening.
Yeah, and you'd wonder as well about, you know, when you win a game like they did against Leitrim, and particularly 14 men, and you push on at the end and you come out and you're sort of saying, you know, we're in good shape, and you mightn't start at the intensity that you want to. And Roscommon were saying to themselves, look, we have to get into this game and really work hard, and that's what they did. And from early on, it was their hard work that was telling and significant, and they won so much turnover ball, which was so impressive, without giving away fouls, without giving away frees, and I think that was crucial.
Yeah, and it's very difficult for all these teams not having played any league games or challenge games coming up to this. They're normally guaranteed 4 or 5 championship games, which is very tough. Like, you know, it's a funny my time of year to be playing.
There's no doubt about it. You have to make allowances for all those. Finally, from a Roscommon perspective, they'll be in a very happy position now where they can look on Sunday to see who they're going to be playing in the Connacht final.
Yeah, look, they'll be delighted because I'd say we're favourites coming into this game. Sligo and Mayo, that'll be a close one. I know Sligo have quite a good team at that age, and Mayo are always strong, so I think that'll be a tight one.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's a game you'll be able to see live here on the Connacht GAA Centre on the website from the Centre of Excellence on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, and you'd want to be impressed with the quality of minor football in Connacht. I really am delighted with the quality of it. There's some excellent football was played out there this evening by both sides, and we saw it again. Leitrim the last day played some great football against Galway, and we're looking forward to much the same between Mayo and Sligo, and no doubt whoever comes out of Connacht will be a telling team.
Yeah, well, let's see what's going to happen. Really, at this stage, I suppose all that's left for us to do is to wish the Galway under-20s and the Mayo senior team the very best of luck tomorrow afternoon as well in Croke Park. From all of our team here in the Connacht GAA Centre of Excellence tonight, to Cathal Craig and Kevin O'Dwyer, who joined me on commentary, to Seamus Burns on camera work, our producer was Rory O'Brien, from myself, John Lynch, and all of us here, congratulations to Roscommon. They march on to the Connacht final. Galway's journey unfortunately ends tonight here at the Centre of Excellence. It's going to be Roscommon against Sligo or Mayo. You'll be able to find out who wins that game by joining us on Sunday afternoon. But for the moment, from the Centre of Excellence, a very good night.